You will have the session to discuss all these things. This is not the time. No. Please, you are a responsible person, leader of opposition. This session is there. You can discuss everything. Honorable Speaker, sir, Chief Minister, ministers, leaders of the opposition and members. It is my honor and privilege to address this august body of representatives of the people of Kerala, marking the beginning of the fourth session of the 15th Kerala Legislative Assembly. My government, in its previous tenure, faced trials and tribulations as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic, which adversely affected the lives and livelihood of people and economy of the state. We successfully came out of this crisis with determination. The abating of the incidence of COVID-19 provided us some relief, but that was not enduring. The second surge of the pandemic was witnessed in the month April-May 2021. Recently, the state is facing the third wave of pandemic. It is a matter of relief that the number of cases is coming down and we have been able to keep the death rate under control like the previous two occasions. Kerala government has been able to tap on its strength like empowered local governments, people's participation, and wide awareness about consequences of the pandemic. The role played by health, local self-government, police, revenue disaster management departments, RRTs, particularly ASHAs, ward-level committees, community volunteers, and members of the public deserve special praise. My government is effectively carrying out the vaccination drive to build herd immunity against COVID-19. My government has been in the forefront of the demand for providing COVID vaccination free of cost to everyone. I am happy to announce that Kerala has attained 100% coverage in second dose of vaccination in case of persons aged above 18 as on February 7, 2022. The coverage among children aged between 15 and 17, which began recently, is at 73%. Despite financial constraints, my government has taken every possible step to provide relief in the time of the pandemic. A comprehensive rehabilitation package for children who lost both parents due to COVID, including children who were abandoned by surviving parents, a scheme for providing 5,000 rupees for 36 months to the BPL families who lost their breadwinner due to COVID, timely dispersal of ex gratia of 50,000 rupees to the legal heirs of those who succumbed to COVID-19 has been implemented in the state. As on February 4, 2022, 43,994 applications have been approved. Besides the above, my government has provided financial relief packages, tax relief, and interest subventions, which have been announced through three economic packages. My government has been implementing various programs in a time-bound manner and informing the people about the progress. 100 Days program is part of this. The present government completed the first 100 Days program in June-September 2021. The second one is now on from February 10 to May 20, 2022. The total expected outlay of the second 100 Days programs is about 17,183 crore rupees in order to complete 1557 programs by May 2022. When my government completes its first year in office, 100 Days program lays a special emphasis on the creation of direct and indirect employment opportunities and person days of work. During the recent past, our state faced extreme rainfall events and two cyclones. Experts have opined that these are the consequences of patterns of climatic change which we are experiencing. The unexpected landslides which happened in places where they were least expected resulted in loss of precious lives, causing anguish to all of us. My government is moving ahead with policies and programs to tackle the consequences of climate change, lest they should become cataclysmic. Improving the carbon footprint is an important objective of my government. The safety of the people of Kerala is of utmost concern to my government. As regards the Mullaperiyar Dam in Idukki district, we are taking every effort to ensure the safety of people of Kerala while making sure that neighboring state of Tamil Nadu gets the water it needs. We believe that the dam's capacity should not exceed 136 feet of storage. As Kerala is committed to providing water to Tamil Nadu while safeguarding the lives of its people, it has put forth the proposal to build a new dam in the place of the existing dam, which is aged around a century and a quarter. But in the midst of these troubles, we have had reasons to cheer as the state found itself for the third consecutive time at the topmost position among all states in attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, as per the assessment of the Niti Aayog. The assessment covered all 17 goals, 70 targets, and 115 indicators. Kerala was also found to be the best performer in health indices in 2021, as evidenced in the fourth edition of Niti Aayog Health Index, which ranked states based on overall health performance. The Niti Aayog baseline report on the national multidimensional poverty released in December 2021 puts the multidimensional poverty in Kerala at 0.7%, which is the lowest in the country. This is the result of the state's unrelenting welfare orientation aiming at reaching the poorest of the poor. Land and housing for all is an important goal to which my government is firmly committed to. The aim to implement this through the convergence of resources and efforts of multiple departments, institutions, and schemes. My government intends to revise the Housing Policy 2011 by incorporating changes in housing scenario, recognizing the housing needs of the citizen as a right. My government is committed to improve the quality of service delivery to its people, as well as facilitating resurgence in the economy through multiple measures for digital governance and ease of doing business. The restrictions imposed by COVID have brought home the relevance of digital technologies to ensure outreach and access, and therefore my government is working towards becoming a completely e-governed state in 2022. Universalization of the e-office digital platform in all department and public institutions, providing over 500 services online and incorporating single sign-on facility, including payment gateways, bringing about Aadhaar vaults and unified registry to dispense with the need for multiple certification for multiple purposes, creating digilockers for people to store important documents and records digitally, setting up dashboards for tracking progress of applications and service delivery, online personal management systems. The digital services extend to business applications as well. To ensure ease of business, my government has streamlined application processes, allowing for self-certification in the case of small businesses, introduced centralized inspection systems to eliminate ad hocism, and simplified procedures and forms. The COVID-19 pandemic led to revenue loss and additional expenditure commitments, which have worsened the state's debt to GDP ratio. This is expected to reach a sustainable level once the state's revenue collection, including GST, recovers as we grow out of the pandemic. Besides the revenue loss due to COVID, the state has been facing severe cut in revenue from central transfers. At present, there has been a consistent decline in the state share provided from the divisible pool by succeeding central finance commissions. At the time of the 10th Finance Commission, state share was 3.8% of the divisible pool. By the 14th Finance Commission, this has come down to 2.5%, and now the 15th Finance Commission award only permits 1.92%. During the first year of the award year itself, there was a reduction of about 6,500 crore rupees on account of the GST compensation ceasing to exist after June this year, we may further lose about 10,000 to 12,000 crores. The revenue deficit grant is going to be reduced sharply in the coming financial year. It has been the practice of the union government to give exemption to direct taxes which fall in the divisible pool and to raise significant amount of revenue through cess and surcharges which are not in divisible pool. This causes huge fall in the share of resources due to the state. Hence, it is not just the reduction in state's own revenue which causes the deficit, but mainly the change in policy at the level of union government in devolving resources to the states that pushes the state government to financial difficulties. Importantly, while the fiscal deficit of the union government is around 6%, the state's deficits are restricted to 3%. This is unscientific as the expenditure obligations of the state are much higher than the union and the spending has increased manifold due to the COVID-related packages and assistance from the part of the state government. The union budget has not accommodated any long-standing demands of the state. Despite this, we will ensure that the state economy continues to grow. My government is committed to enabling the creation of 20 lakh job opportunities for educated unemployed and has given itself a target of generating 5 jobs per 1,000 population in every local body. The state is expected to make sharp recovery in its economic growth to over 10% growth in GSDP in 2022-23 with the revival of economic activity, increased pace of vaccination, fiscal consolidation measures such as rationalization of expenditure and recovery in revenue collection, including GST. During the last year, given the impact of the pandemic, the state adopted rationalization measures to create the fiscal space to expand the social security net through higher allocation for social security pensions, welfare board pensions, ex gratia payment to the various vulnerable sections of the population, higher expenditure on pre-medical treatment, free grocery kits, and sector support scheme for tourism, industry, non-resident Keralites, etc. It is praiseworthy that the state has been able to get an additional 0.5% capital expenditure link borrowing in the current financial year by achieving the total target of incremental capital expenditure fixed for the state by the central government. The climate of economic distress that currently prevails in the country was exposed by the farmers' agitation against the farm legislations. This agitation is a reflection of acute deprivation among workers and farmers in rural and urban settings alike, which necessitates immediate, drastic intervention. In light of the impact of the agitation and the union government's response, we are hopeful that the union government will come up with an inclusive strategy that will address rural and agrarian distress. Kerala has witnessed perceptible growth in industrial investment in the last 6 years. Close to 48% of the MSME establishments, 68,419 in the state, were formed during the same period. An estimated 300,000 employment opportunities were created in the MSME sector. There is a paradigm shift in the way industrial licensing is issued and entrepreneurs are engaged. The reform process in the industrial sector included simplifying industrial licensing, improving and expanding industrial infrastructures like industrial parks, dedicated industrial corridors, and entrepreneurship training institutes. Enabling the citizens of the state to avail quality infrastructure for basic services of water, electricity, telecommunications, and transport continues to be an area in which my government is focusing its attention and identifying innovative projects. The ambitious K-Rail project will provide a new environment-friendly transport mode compared to fossil fuel-based transportation and will be a green initiative that would catalyze employment and growth while enhancing the speed, joy, and comfort of travel. My government expects an early approval from the union government for this project. Kerala continues to be the only state in India to make effective use of 5-year plan as an instrument for the development of the economy. The preparations for the 14th 5-year plan have begun, and the reports of the various working groups are in final stages. The approach paper to the 14th 5-year plan document will be finalized by May 2022. Federalism is an inalienable part of the basic structure of our Constitution. Cooperative federalism has been recognized as our common desirable goal. However, in the recent times, legislations by the union government is taking place on subjects enumerated in the state and concurrent lists, that too without effective consultation with the states. This goes against the grain of cooperative federalism. My government is of the opinion that this should not be a practice to be continued. Let me now discuss my government's important initiatives across specific sectors, agriculture and allied sectors. In the context of recurring natural calamities, crop insurance program has been strengthened. 126,570 farmers have been insured under the program. As part of crop loss compensation due to natural calamities, a total of 5,473 lakhs was distributed to 52,988 farmers. As part of the timely market intervention to curb the rising prices of vegetables in the state, vegetables bought directly from farmers were distributed across the state at half the market price through government-supported outlets. Paddy cultivation was undertaken in a total area of 77,375 hectares under the Rice Development Program. Bharatiya Prakritik Kirshi Paddhati was implemented in 51,933 hectares. 66.37 lakh fruit plants have been distributed under the 1 crore fruit plants program. As a part of the submission on agricultural mechanization, machineries like tractors, tillers, harvesters, threshers, processing and value addition machineries were provided to farmers and groups and for custom hiring centers by expending 125.69 crore rupees. Attapadi Millet Village project was successful in its 5th year also. The Athirapalli Tribal Valley Agricultural Project has been launched under RKI to focus on food security, livelihood, and conservation of traditional agricultural products in the region. The main programs proposed for the year 2022-23 by my government are: initiation to reduce carbon footprint through grassroots level campaigns. 50 farmers producers organizations have been registered so far under the Department of Agriculture and VFPCK. More such FPOs will be formed soon. Krishi Shri groups will be organized at Krishi Bhavan level to provide timely support to agricultural operations and to take up cultivation in at least 2 hectares of land per year. My government plans to bring about a paradigm shift from crop-based assistance to a farm-based one by developing a farmland-based multi-cropping system as a basic block for agricultural development. The Sustainable Mandalam program aims at development of Tharishurita Mandalam at Assembly constituency level through establishment of integrated nutrition gardens. It is proposed to provide high-tech organic supermarkets as a means of marketing the organic produce in the state. Online market platform or e-trading platforms are proposed to achieve integration of distant agri-markets, systematic supply chain logistics, and process designs that boost trading. Government will take up Agri-Cadet Course program with an objective of developing interest among school students in agricultural activities. My government will also establish Krishi Shri groups of youth, women, and NRIs. The Krishi Bhavans will be given a makeover as Smart Krishi Bhavans. A new system of crop insurance scheme through which farmers will enjoy existing benefit of low premium but will get professional insurance coverage from lead players in the field is planned. Animal husbandry and dairy development. In spite of adversities like flood calamity and COVID pandemic, dairy sector in Kerala could maintain a higher growth rate of 4% milk production during the last 5 years. My government aims to revitalize the dairy sector of Kerala in 22-23 so as to ensure that the state achieves self-sufficiency in milk production. It is also planned to increase milk procurement through dairy cooperatives to 23 lakhs liters per day. Schemes to breed elite cows in the state with superior germplasm in order to hasten the genetic improvement in population will be initiated. In tune with the government's policy of providing doorstep veterinary service to farmers, mobile televeterinary units with advanced diagnostic and treatment facilities were established at Ernakulam and Kannur districts and are being established in the remaining districts. The state has been able to vaccinate 80% of the cattle and buffalo population against the foot and mouth disease. Herd quarantine cum trading centers will be established under dairy cooperatives to keep the animals under quarantine while on transit from neighboring states to avoid spreading of disease. Palakudam Integrated Dairy Development Program will be implemented in selected 10 panchayats during the year 2022-23 with a special herd induction program, dairy farm mechanization cum automation programs with the aim of making panchayats self-sufficient in milk production. In 2022, a special program will be launched for promoting women farmers in key animal husbandry activities. Entrepreneurship development programs will be implemented by strengthening the extension services of Animal Husbandry Department. Kerala Veterinary and Animal Sciences University shall establish a referral and diagnostic lab for supporting livestock farming and diagnostic zoonotic diseases consisting of 30 labs of BSL-3 facilities. It is also proposed to establish a state-of-the-art center for monitoring xenobiotic residues and advanced animal health care, a knowledge park for capacity building and business promotion in dairy processing, and a duck research facility at Kuttanad. Dairy training centers at Tiruvananthapuram, Ochira, Kottayam, Palakkad, Kozhikode, and Kasaragod will be upgraded to dairy entrepreneurship development centers with incubation centers to promote entrepreneurship in dairy sector. This is about Fisheries Department. The United Nations General Assembly has declared 2022 as International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. Holistic development of the sector is a matter of emphasis for the government. Providing high-quality fish products at affordable price and generating employment is an area of focus for my government. model fish vending units, and hygienic transportation support will be ensured for the empowerment of fisherwomen. Also, government's flagship program, Punargeham, will focus on providing safe dwelling to fishers who are residing within 50 meters of high tide line. My government is committed to promote fish farming in all suitable water bodies in the state with an objective of doubling the aquaculture production from 34,000 tons to 70,000 tons within 5 years. Cooperative governance will be strengthened through the comprehensive legal reforms and regulation of audit and inspection of the cooperative sector. A monitoring system, cooperative audit monitoring and information, was introduced for reviewing the updation of audit and financial condition of cooperative societies. New generation banking facilities will be made available to the members of Kerala Bank through the implementation of common accounting software. The Mutate Mulla microfinance scheme has been implemented through Kutumshri units all over the state to protect the people from private money lenders. 1536.96 crore rupees have been disbursed through 407,796 Kutumshri units. Sneha Thiram, a micro-loan scheme, will be implemented for fishermen, workers and small traders in the coastal region. As part of attracting young entrepreneurs and service providers to cooperative sector, 30 youth cooperative societies have been registered and have been functioning under the Department of Cooperation. Yuva cooperative societies for promoting SC/ST youth will be registered in all districts. Industries. My government has been taking up many initiatives to energize and stimulate the business environment in the state. Legislative, procedural, and digital reforms were introduced with the aim of bringing in ease of doing business to the industry. The Statutory Grievance Redressal Committee is a novel initiative wherein all complaints, grievances of existing entrepreneurs will be addressed in a time-bound manner. This committee has the power of a civil court. Centralized inspection system ensures that necessary and repeated inspections are avoided. Automatic approvals for MSMEs highlights the change in the government's approach from investigation or inquiries to issuance of approvals on self-declarations. Around 11,878 MSME acknowledged certificates, that is instant approvals, for starting MSMEs have been issued in the state. Online system of industrial land allotment is available now. The state has made considerable progress in implementing business reforms under the Ease of Doing Business program. Ranking made by Niti Aayog on Innovation Index has placed Kerala at 10th place, and the National Council for Applied Economic Research placed Kerala on 6th position under the Investment Potential Index. The department has implemented the policy of strengthening public sector undertakings. The department has taken over 2 central PSUs, Hindustan Newsprint Limited in Kottayam and BHEL in Kasaragod. The Instrumentation Limited will also be taken over in the current financial year. Master plans were prepared for modernization, diversification, and expansion of PSUs. My government proposes to develop an online platform for linking the manufacturers, consumers, and logistic companies for creating e-market. Through this, even a small household, nano enterprise will find market for its products. The government will provide managerial and entrepreneurship training for the starters as well as the established entrepreneurs to scale up their business. Following initiatives will be the focus of my government in this fiscal year. The Private Industrial Park scheme will be launched this year, making it possible for private individuals to establish an industrial park. Government will extend assistance towards infrastructure development in the park. A new program giving impetus to ESG is being promoted in the state to bring in responsible investment and responsible industries, thereby making Kerala the ESG destination of India. The strategic areas for attracting investment are electronic manufacturing, life sciences, including pharma, petrochemical industries, aviation, food processing, e-mobility, and defense sectors. The department is also focused on developing Kochi-Palakkad Industrial Corridor for developing integrated manufacturing center for attracting large-scale investments. Mega Food Processing Park in Cherthala, Kerala, Paper Products Limited and Kerala Rubber Limited will start functioning during 2022. It is proposed to establish logistic parks with multi-modal transport heads for rail, road, and airway traffic. KSWIFT version 3, which will incorporate more services of the existing departments and agencies, and by onboarding more departments agencies. Fast-track development of 481 acres of Kinfira Petrochemical Park in Ambala Mughal and Gift City in Kochi will be undertaken. A spices park is proposed to be developed in Tolupura. My government is initiating a unique program for establishment of more than 100,000 enterprises in the state during the financial year 2022-23. The innovative technologies developed by the R&D institutions will be made available to the existing and new entrepreneurs through the technology clinics. Meet the Minister program was conducted to bring in confidence among the investor community and to understand the issues faced by the entrepreneurs. Meet the Investor program was launched for direct interaction with the prospective investors with investment plans above 100 crore rupees. Investment offers for 7,000 crore rupees has been received through this initiative. My government has taken several steps to introduce innovative programs for diversification and value addition in the traditional industries sector. An e-commerce portal will be launched for marketing of the products, and professional designers will be engaged for introduction of contemporary designs and branding. Kerala Kethari brand has been introduced for the handloom sector for ensuring specific standards in production and for the popularization of hand-woven products. Block level handloom clusters will be developed to increase the infrastructure and income of the weavers. Kerala has already transformed as the total solution provider of coir geotextiles for engineering and agricultural applications, and shall expand the market of coir geotextiles across the country. Manufacturing plants for newer products like binderless coir boards, needle felts, composite boards of acoustic panels will be operational during 22-23. My government is making efforts to uplift the cashew industry sector in the state. Master plans will be prepared for the cashew sector for modernization, infrastructural upgradation, and diversification. Steps will be taken for brand building, maximize sales in domestic and international markets, to scale up procurement operations to meet the requirements of industry and promote cashew cultivation. The Department of Mining and Geology proposes to make available all mineral concessions details in public domain and to provide all services online. Advanced technologies will be used in monitoring of mineral extraction and mineral transportation. Steps will be taken to repeal those acts which are irrelevant in the present scenario. Legal awareness programs will be conducted to spread the availability of free legal aid to eligible citizens. Labor and Skills Department. My government is committed to safeguard the interest of labor, including interstate labor. As of December 21, 30 lakh and 176 members were registered in the e-Shram portal developed by the Ministry of Labour and Employment for the National Database of Unorganized Workers and Labourers. During the second phase of COVID-19, government allotted 213.32 crore rupees to registered members of various welfare fund boards, plantation labour and closed plantation labour. 5 lakh interstate migrant workers have been, more than 5, have been registered as on date in the health insurance scheme for ISM workers, Awas. Government have defined certain standards for residence for migrant workers. Kerala Atithi application and guest workers friendly residence in Kerala is a digital application for collecting the details and providing health care and other facilities for the migrant workers in Kerala. Different schemes were introduced for the welfare of unorganized sector workers. An amount of 58 crores has been provided for maternity allowances to workers in the unorganized sector. In the studio apartment project, the aim is for providing good quality, decent and safe accommodation in the form of a studio apartment for single and married working women in Kerala. Samanvaya is the training initiated by the Department of National Employment Services in 2021 financial year with the objective of comprehensive promotion of SC/ST candidates. The Samanvaya scheme also envisages for providing employment-oriented training to youth belonging to tribal communities and residing in remote areas. Grading system for shops and commercial establishments. Todil Shrestha Award for evaluating establishments and personal accident death assurance scheme for employees in unorganized sector will be implemented. A virtual employment exchange online portal for NRI NRK is proposed to be started in financial year 22-23. Information technology. State data center capacity will be upgraded to address the demand for increased digitization of governance. Hybrid cloud and containerization technologies will be implemented at the earliest in SDCs. The Kerala University of Digital Sciences and Technology is planning to set up a hybrid data center in the campus, which is a dedicated cloud data center. The Rao Sugma portal has been implemented successfully in the state in order to ensure a smooth online submission of applications for road cutting and utility shifting. Kerala IT parks, techno parks, info parks, and cyber parks are generating over 1.1 lakhs direct employment through 950 plus companies. Building of additional space to the tune of 7.68 lakh square feet is being tied up for realization in the coming year. The construction of the first phase of TCS Aerospace Hub project at Technocity, Thiruvananthapuram, is to commence in the first quarter of 2022 and will get completed by mid-2024. KSITIL, in consultation with KSITM, proposes to implement predictive governance in Kerala by creating a state family database and a blockchain backbone that will enable citizens to receive their statutory documents in their digital vault without them ever having to apply for these documents or ever having to visit a government office. This will take e-governance in Kerala to the next level. The digital university will host state-of-the-art facilities for sensor manufacturing, intelligent sensor system hardware, and artificial intelligence software development, and comprehensive compliance testing to provide business and mentorship support to startup companies. Digital University plans to set up a center of excellence in the area of artificial intelligence to establish national, international collaborations in industry and academia for building capacity in responsible artificial intelligence technologies, applications, and policy frameworks. Phase 1 of the K-Phone project, which was approved for an estimated cost of 1548.08 crore, is ready for rollout. Tourism. The adverse impact of COVID-19 pandemic resulted in the highest negative growth ever recorded in the history of Kerala. Tourism. Tourism needs to bounce back strongly with innovative strategies. As a result of the joint effort of Tourism Department and the stakeholders of the industry, the domestic tourism sector showed signs of fast recovery from April 2021 itself, resulting in an altogether growth of about 14% during the first 19 months of 2021 in the domestic tourism sector when compared to 2020. The Project Destination Challenge has been approved by my government for developing local areas with potential as tourism destinations in collaboration with local self-governments. Responsible tourism will be given support for its new initiatives. To support the employees and employers of tourism industry, my government has sanctioned a revolving fund. The Chief Minister's COVID Relief Supporting Scheme for tourism entrepreneurs will also be continued during 22-23. Carva tourism, which includes modified vehicles as well as parks for safe camping of tourists to enjoy a specific destination, will be implemented shortly. Backward Classes Development Department. Important programs proposed include subsidy for loans through Awakening, rehabilitation support of street vendors and retailers, Ayya Vekunda Traditional Employment Innovation Center, and the Renaissance Scholarship for Girls. The Navodana Scholarship Scheme can be implemented for OBC girls who are studying in medical and allied courses who have lost a parent or both and the annual family income does not exceed 2.5 lakh rupees. Mr. Speaker, if you permit now, can I go to the last part of the address? My government aims, this is land revenue, my government aims to complete the digital resurvey project in 4 years with the aim of providing a clear and authentic record of right for all landowners, for which an amount of 339.4838 crores has been set apart in the first phase under the Rebuild Kerala initiative. My government intends to issue pattayams to all the deserving landless people in the state. The unique Thandapad system will be implemented in the state of Kerala, which will provide a unique identification number for all the landholders holding lands in different parts of the state under multiple survey numbers and Thandapad numbers. My government shall address all the pending land issues on mission mode. My government will continue to work and take a new leap to transform the ambience of offices like village offices, taluk offices, and civil stations to promote a new work culture of transparency, efficiency, and citizen friendliness. These steps will be taken to strictly enforce the Kerala Conservation of Paddy Land and Wetland Act 2008 to protect paddy fields in the state. The government will take strong legal action against the encroachers by intensifying measures to reclaim illegally held government land. It is intended to develop the Institute of Land and Disaster Management as a center for excellence, for which a new endeavor called Revenue Information Bureau will be launched. District survey reports will be prepared for 10 districts in the state for the first time to ensure sustainable removal of sand resources from rivers without harming the environment. Sports and youth. My government will ensure new sports culture by implementing multi-purpose district sports complexes, encourage cycling, strengthening play for health scheme, establishing residential sports schools. Sports Kerala Elite Residential Football Academies were inaugurated at G.V. Raja Sports School, Thiruvananthapuram, and Kannur Sports School for girls. A free legal guidance system to the youth with a toll-free number is intended to be implemented. Awareness campaigns against dowry, drug use, and such social evils at district level are also being planned. Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Bureau has initiated several innovative measures in support of government policy of zero tolerance to corruption. During 2021, the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Bureau has completed the digitization of administration, opened new office buildings at Idiki, Palakkad, and Kannur districts, and established the cyber cell at the Vigilance headquarters. The federal polity requires the union and state governments to work together harmoniously to do justice to the people. In these difficult times, it behoves us to imbibe the principles of cooperative federalism and find areas of synergy and resolution. No state deserves to survive which does not put the well-being of all its citizens first. In order to do so, the state has to be consciously inclusive, particularly of people who are not in the mainstream, marginalized communities, minorities, genders, people with special needs and disabilities. These are lessons that COVID teaches us. It teaches us that the well-being of one person is the well-being of us all. It teaches us that to survive uncertain and volatile times, we need to work together. We need to work for everyone. The global scenario has also been impacted by this disruptive experience. Challenging times bring out the best in us by way of innovation and the spirit to persevere and overcome. The future is one of responsive, inclusive, governance, and the state of Kerala that has developed many a model towards this end will continue to be a trailblazer and inspiration to the country and the world. The Nav Keralam Karma Paddhati takes inspiration from these ideals and will have a significant impact in taking the achievements of the state in education, health, sanitation, and natural resource management to new heights. In conclusion, I would once again like to highlight the focus of my government in reviving the economy of the state through enhanced employment opportunities and improved production, in bringing in citizen-centric and efficiency-driven digital governance, in taking strong strides towards a knowledge economy, particularly in cutting-edge disciplines, and in continuing to persevere to meet the sustainable development goals for a vibrant and resilient Kerala. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद.
ഓർഡർ. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണറുടെ പ്രസംഗത്തിൻ്റെ കോപ്പി ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട അംഗങ്ങൾക്കും പത്രപ്രതിനിധികൾക്കും ഇപ്പോൾ വിതരണം ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണറുടെ പ്രസംഗത്തിന് നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്ന പ്രമേയത്തിന്മേലുള്ള ചർച്ച 2022 ഫെബ്രുവരി 22 ആരംഭിക്കുന്നതാണ്. നന്ദി പ്രമേയത്തിന് ഭേദഗതികൾ അവതരിപ്പിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്ന അംഗങ്ങൾ 2022 ഫെബ്രുവരി 20 ഞായറാഴ്ച ഉച്ചയ്ക്ക് 12 മണിക്ക് മുമ്പായി ഭേദഗതികൾ നിയമസഭാ സെക്രട്ടറിയെ ഏൽപ്പിക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. ഓർഡർ. പ്രതിപക്ഷ കക്ഷികളിൽപ്പെട്ട ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട അംഗങ്ങൾ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണറുടെ പ്രസംഗം ബഹിഷ്കരിച്ച് പുറത്തുപോയിരിക്കുന്ന സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ ഇന്ന് സഭാ സമ്മേളനത്തിന് ശേഷം മെമ്പേഴ്സ് ലോഞ്ചിൽ വെച്ച് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണറോടൊപ്പം ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കാൻ തീരുമാനിച്ചിരുന്നത് മറ്റൊരവസരത്തിലേക്ക് മാറ്റിവെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. ഓർഡർ. സഭ ഇപ്പോൾ പിരിയുന്നതും തിങ്കളാഴ്ച രാവിലെ 9 മണിക്ക് വീണ്ടും ചേരുന്നതുമാണ്.